Jefferson County Court, Law number 2 is now in session. The court is in session with 2 dockets, the announcement docket and the motion to revoke probation docket. Both dockets are set on May 8th, 2024. First 2 cases are cause numbers 24CCCR 0369 and cause number M318958. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Brandon Raphael Lumpkin. Mr. Lumpkin, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How are you doing, Mr. Lumpkin?
I'm all right, too.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Mr. Lumpkin. I have before me Mr. Andrew Hubel, who is Assistant District Attorney for the state. Mr. Hubel, how are you doing?
Doing well, Judge, and yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. We also have Mr. Gary Gilliam, who is with the Jefferson County Probation Office. Mr. Gilliam, how are you doing? That's good. Now, Mr. Lumpkin, I see here on the docket sheet, it says in the memo that your case was reset on April 3rd, 2024, to give you an opportunity to hire an attorney. Have you hired your attorney?
The attorney that I had on file, he had retired 2 years ago, and back in East Texas, he's like a friend of the family on my fiance's side. And when I try to get in touch with y'all, she can never get in touch with nobody because my schedule that I work from 6 in the morning to 8 in the evening, so I can't come up here and let somebody know because she couldn't get in touch with nobody. She tried to get.
Okay, you talking about she couldn't get in. Who is she?
My fiance.
Okay. Well, was she trying to get a lawyer for you?
No, she was trying to get in touch so I could try to apply for.
Oh, you talking about a court-appointed attorney? Yeah. Oh, well, just have a seat, and the bailiff is going to give you some paperwork to fill out, and then let's do this here. Before we do that, I'm gonna go over the paperwork with you. She's gonna give you judge's explanation of rights to defendants without an attorney. That should be the first document on the clipboard. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go over this document with you, and it states as follows. As a defendant in the criminal case, you have 3 options. Number 1, you may hire an attorney. Do you understand that option? Number 2, if you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you may request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Or number 3, you may represent yourself. Do you understand that option?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you want an attorney to represent you and you have enough money to hire an attorney, your case will be reset, which means that you'll be given another court date to give you time to hire an attorney. If you want an attorney and you do not have enough money to hire an attorney, you will need to fill out a financial questionnaire. Now, the financial questionnaire is the document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. It should be the 3rd document on that clipboard. You would have to fill out the first page and half of the second page. The bottom portion is for the court to fill out. Now, once you fill out that document, the proper person will determine whether or not to appoint an attorney to represent you. Now, if you want to represent yourself, you'll have an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor or one of the prosecutors who is assistant district attorneys in the case to see if you can work out a settlement on your case. Now, you cannot or you may not speak to the prosecutor about your case unless you first sign a written waiver of your right to be represented by an attorney. Now, the written waiver is a document that's saying that you know you have a right to have an attorney and you're waiving your right to have an attorney. That document is titled Waiver of Counsel for purposes of entering a guilty plea or proceeding to trial. It should be the 2nd document on that clipboard. Now, you should be aware that there are dangers to self-representation. Waiving your right to an attorney and representing yourself may result in the worst outcome for you and your case, including the loss of significant rights and opportunities relating to military service, possession of a firearm, housing and public benefits, child custody, immigration status for non-citizens, and employment. Now, if you choose to represent yourself, You may change your mind at any time and request that an attorney be appointed to represent you. Now, at the bottom of that document in bold letters, it states defendant's choice. Mark initials next to only one choice. If your choice is to hire your own attorney, you place your initials on the first line to the left. If you've already hired an attorney to represent you in your case, then you will place your initials on the second line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is to apply for a court-appointed attorney, then you'll place your initials on the third line to the left. If you've already been appointed a court-appointed attorney to represent you in this case, then you'll place your initials on the fourth line to the left and the name of the attorney on the line to the right. If your choice is to represent yourself, that is to waive your right to have an attorney to represent you and you desire to represent yourself, then you'll place your initials on the fifth line to the left. Now, once you finish initialing one of the 5 lines, you will sign your name on the line that is titled defendant, and you will date it today's date, May 8th of 2024. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you go ahead on and make your choice. Okay, now, you've decided to apply for court-appointed attorney, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can take that clipboard with the pen, have a seat, and you're gonna fill out the document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. You'll fill out the first page, have the second page, and then once you finish, we're gonna bring you back up and go over the paperwork. Hey, Mr. Curtis is not here yet. Jefferson County Court, Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session. 2 cases. The cases are cause number 24 CCCR 0369 and cause number M318958. Both cases are filed the state of Texas versus Brandon Raphael Lumpkin. Mr. Lumpkin, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Lumpkin, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God? Mr. Lumpkin, you may put your hand down. Well, Mr. Lumpkin, I have before me 2 documents. First document is titled Judge's Explanation of Rights to Defendants Without Attorney. Do you recognize this document?
Mhm.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Mhm.
That's your signature?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials on the line state you'd like to apply for court-appointed attorney?
Yes, sir.
I also have another document that is titled Jefferson County Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant's Signature. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Lumpkin, before you sign and initial these documents, did you read the documents?
I read that one.
You didn't read this one?
I think I did.
Okay, my
I-
question is,
I
you didn't
ended up-
read it, how were you able to fill it out?
No, I ended up, reading the wrong one. I ended up signing for the one to.
Okay, that was the waiver, but this is not the waiver.
Okay.
I mean, I don't have the waiver up here. My question to you is, prior to signing these 2 documents, not the waiver, did you read these documents? Did you understand what you read?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, Mr. Lumpkin, you're stating that, no, you're stating that you're not employed?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, laid off this morning.
Hmm?
Laid off this morning.
Okay. So everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Lumpkin, I read your answers. Based on your answers, you meet the eligibility requirements for the appointment of a court-appointed attorney. Attorney that will be appointed to represent you is Attorney William Marcus Wilkerson. Mr. Wilkerson will be given information to contact you, and you will be given information to contact him. The court the court coordinator rather, will give you that information. Once you get the information from the court coordinator, you'll be free to go. You have a blessed day. Now, you still on probation?
Mhm. No, I don't think I am.
Yes, you are on probation. Okay, just because they filed a motion to revoke your probation, they haven't revoked your probation. So you need to continue to follow the directions of your probation officer. I think Mr. Gary Gilliam is going to talk to you before you leave. You met him earlier. Just have a seat in that first chair on the wall. And then when they're ready for you, they'll ask you to come up to the window once you're finished there. You'd be free to go. Have a blessed day.
Your Honor, may I approach?
Yes.
I had 3 cases on your docket.
Okay, let's get a prosecutor.
We have, 2 of them we have resolved and they're
Okay, what 2 are they?
Cormier and Keys.
Okay,
They've been resolved. Miss Aaron Britt,
Ms. Britt, would you please come forward?
they have made Miss Britt an offer today. I have discussed it with her, and I would like to request for her one more resetting on the announcement docket so she can think about it for 30 days.
No, this case has been on docket since, the age of the case is 476 days old, so it's been over a year. So, and you were appointed in April of, 2023.
Okay,
So this is long overdue. We could put it on the trial docket.
okay, now would you be able to enter a plea after that? Because some judges are now,
After the trial docket?
once it gets put on the trial docket.
I mean, she could enter, that's up to the state. If,
I would accept the plea, I'm gonna say up to the week before trial.
Okay,
okay,
you want to
so,
think about it, or you want to go ahead and do
Well,
it?
I was just presented the plea today, so I would like some time to think about it, even
Okay.
though the case has been open since last year. The plea was just presented this morning.
Yeah,
okay, well, okay, we're gonna put it on the trial docket. You have a week before the trial date to make your decision,
okay.
okay?
I'm not clear what's going on.
No, let me kind of explain it to you, okay? The judge did not want to reset the case for an announcement docket. He's
Okay.
putting it on a trial docket, but we have up until 1 week before that to accept the deferred offer from the state.
Okay.
Okay, so if you.
Okay, give us a trial date,
June 17th.
June
I'll be-
17th, so you'll have until June 10th
I will
to,
actually be on vacation during that time.
okay, give us another date,
24th, June 24th.
That'll work,
June 24th.
Yes.
okay,
So you'll have until June 17th.
right, I'll still be on vacation, but we'll get something done between now
Yeah,
and
she
then.
can make it
I would need
anytime
verbal
before,
acceptance at that point.
I'm sorry?
I said all I would need is verbal acceptance at that point.
a
Okay.
verbal acceptance.
Yeah, let her go think about it a few days and she'll.
So
get
this is June 24th, is that correct?
The trial date is June.
Okay, so we set for June trial on June 24th, 2024. Ms. Britt, your attorney's gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
We need to put that on. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. Court is in session at clause number M329426. Case is style of State of Texas versus Justin Ray Sellers. Mr. Sellers is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Sellers, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Your Honor. Thank you. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Sellers, you're representing your case by your attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, how are you doing?
I'm great, Judge. Thank you.
That's good. And the state is represented by Attorney Haley Simmons. Attorney Simmons, how are you doing?
Oh, great, Judge, thank you.
Now, Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Sellers' case?
Judge, I think we need to get this resolved pretty soon, but I don't have a resolution yet. I still haven't been able to show my client the video in the case. But we need to do that. So I don't know that we have an offer in hand on this, but
There is an offer.
there is
in case. I
okay,
can
so
relay that to you.
let me get that and relay that. Can I maybe get a short, like a 30-day?
Well, right now, this is 2020 case. Okay, so at this point, you're either gonna set it for a plea or we're gonna put it on the trial docket. Okay,
That's fine. And then let me convey this to him and
okay, give us a trial date.
June 17 or the 24th.
Which one is best for your schedule? June 17 or the 24th? June 24th.
24th, probably.
June 24th? Okay. We'll reset this to June 24th. Be set for trial.
And Justin, will you call and set up a call with my office and I'm gonna talk with you about this offer they just gave us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so your case will be reset to June 24th, 2024 for trial. Mr. Sellers, you need to be here in person on that day. And this will conclude your case. Thanks for being patient with us. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. They will be given a notice of your reset date. And you have a blessed day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're welcome.
Am I free to leave?
Yes, you're free to go. All
Thank you, sir.
right, you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
All right. Jefferson County Court at Law number 2 is back in session. The court is in session and calls number 23 CCCR 0214. Case is style of State of Texas versus Lakeisha D. Keys. Ms. Keys, is that your full name?
Lakeisha Landry. Keys is my mate.
Okay, so that's they have you charged as Lakeisha D. Keys. Okay, but I mean, you're also known as Lakeisha D. Keys, apparently, because that's how they charge you. Okay. Now, you said that's your maiden name and your married name is Landry. Okay. Now, Ms. Keys, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. You may put your hand down. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. You're represented in your case by your attorney Faggett. You have a record in Ms. Keys' case?
No, we waive it.
You waive it? Okay. And state is represented Well, Mr. Faggett, how are you doing?
I'm good, Your Honor. Thank you for asking.
Okay. And the state is represented in this case by Attorney Erica Porter. Attorney Porter, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Miss Keys, I have before me a document that is titled Information Sheet. This information sheet on the computer was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information sheet, it alleges that you, Lakeisha D. Keys, on or about January 31st of 2023, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of theft. Ms. Keys, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yeah.
And to this charge, Ms. Keys, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, or no contest? And no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? Ms. Keys, I also have another document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. This document is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials that are on a line next to a box that's checked Nola Contendere. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes.
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes.
I also have before me on paper a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Ms. Keys, before you sign and initial these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Faggett, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Ms. Keys, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibit Number 1 into evidence?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted into evidence. Mr. Faggett, you advising counsel, Ms. Keys, is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None whatsoever. She's quite pleasant, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Keys, your attorney, Mr. Faggett, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Keys, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you're mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 90 over 1 year probation, $500 fine, 60 hours community service, court costs, and that's it.
Okay. What's the court cost in this case?
277.
277. And Mr. Faggett, are you appointed?
I am. Oh, she's been calling very emotional.
Okay. Ms. Keys, the state is offering that you serve 90 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. Now, see that, I guess when I said 90 days in jail, you must have thought you was going to jail. But you're not going to jail, you're gonna be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500. You'll be required to pay court costs of $277. You'll be required to pay a probation fee of $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, reimbursement fee of $15, and you'll be required to reimburse Jefferson County court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Now, your total monthly installments, that is a total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $177 a month. Will you be able to pay the $177 each month?
Okay.
Oh, if she's on disability,
Okay.
Your Honor, I would ask the court.
Let me
to-
see, hold on, let me see her affidavit of indigence. Actually, I might be able to print it from here. Affidavit of indigence. Right. Yeah, it should be printed out. Okay. Okay, Ms. Keys, your attorney is handing you a document that is titled Affidavit of Indigence. Do you recognize that document? On page 2 of that document, maybe on the back page. There's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant Signature. Is that your signature? Now, Ms. Keys, is everything on that document still true and correct today? Okay, let me see that document. Ms. Keys, the court is gonna find that you are indigent. And let's see, I have to calculate, that's gonna be, wait. Is that 2605 on the code of criminal procedure? For the waiver, I think it's 2605 G-11. And let's see the court costs. That's the 777. 777. The yeah, the code, I think. Okay. 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 No. Okay. Now, Ms. Keys, just repeat, state is offering to serve 90 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not be serving the time in Jefferson County Jail because you'll be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, as you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $277. The fine and court cost is going to be converted to community service, it's going to be converted to 62 hours of community service. You also be required to pay a probation fee. Probation fee is going to be reduced from $60 a month to $25 a month. And you also be required to pay the reimbursement fee of $15 and the urinalysis fee of $15. Your total month and attorney's fees is going to be waived pursuant to Article 26.05 G-11 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedures. So your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $45 a month. Will you be able to pay the $45 each month? You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. This 60 hours of community service will be in addition to the 62 hours of community service that was converted from the fine and court costs. So you'll be required to perform a total of 122 hours of community service. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
You also will be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. And now, do you understand the state's offer?
Yeah.
Do you think that and the court's findings?
Yeah.
Do you accept the state's offer and the court's finding?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement with the previous findings. Now, Ms. Keys, you're gonna just have a seat. She has to redo the paperwork. Once she redo the paperwork, she's gonna call you back up to the window. Once you go to the window, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay.
Same. Okay. Everybody else, okay. Cormier, Marcus Anthony Cormier,
We're present, he's ready to proceed, right? May we approach?
yes. Mr. Cormier, your full name is Marcus Anthony Cormier? Oh, Cormier, how you pronounce it?
Cormier.
Cormier?
Yes.
Well, how do you, I mean,
It's either or, depends if you're from Louisiana, you say Cormier, or
right,
I just say Cormier.
you say Cormier, okay, well, I go with Cormier. Now, Mr. Cormier, would you please raise your right hand? You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cormier, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Cormier? I'm doing fine, thanks for asking, Mr. Cormier. You're represented in your case by your attorney, Attorney Mark Faggett, Attorney Faggett. Do you waive a record in Mr. Cormier's case?
We do.
Mr. Cormier, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information was filed by the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office. In this information, it alleges that you, Marcus Anthony Cormier, on or about March 13 of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of failure to identify a fugitive from justice. Mr. Cormier, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, Mr. Cormier, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Mr. Cormier, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on page 2 of this document, there's a set of initials, MC, on a line next to a box. Let's check nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 3 of the same document, there is a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
And on the next document is titled trial court certification. a defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir.
At the top of this document, there are two boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me on paper a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant? Mr. Cormier, before you signed and initialed these documents, did your attorney, Mr. Facker, go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that he went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Mr. Cormier, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes.
State I have before me states exhibit number one. State, would you like all the states exhibit number one in evidence?
Yes, sir.
Any objections?
None.
No objections. States exhibit number one will be admitted into evidence. And Mr. Facker, you advising counsel, Mr. Cormier, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
Absolutely none. He's also been a very pleasant individual to deal with, Your Honor.
And Mr. Cormier, your attorney, Mr. Faggett is advising counsel to you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Cormier, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for the defendant's plea of no contest, the state is offered 1 year deferred, $500 fine, 60 hours of community service and court costs.
What is this court cost?
137.
$337? And Mr. Faggett, you was appointed in this case?
I am, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Cormier, the state is offering that you serve 1 year deferred adjudicated probation. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500. You'll be required to pay a probation fee, $60 a month, your analysis fee of $15 a month, a reimbursement fee of $15. You will also be required to pay court costs in the amount of $337. You will also be required to reimburse Jefferson County reimbursement. The court-appointed attorney's fees of $250. Your total monthly installments, that is the total amount that you will be required to pay each month, is $182 a month. Will you be able to pay the $182 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service and adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. Now, Mr. Cormier, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mr. Cormier, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Cormier, if you successfully complete this probation, this case will be dismissed. It will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. You can talk to your attorney about the non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Now, Mr. Cormier, this will conclude your case. Stand in front of them.
You can have a seat.
Just have a seat, and when she calls your name, you can come back up to the window. And Mr. Cormier, you was dressed real nice today.
Thank you.
Okay. Trying to get to Colbert. Okay, oh, here we go. Here we go. Next case is cause number M332368. Case style of state of Texas versus David Anthony Colbert. Mr. Colbert, you can just take your time and come on up. Mr. Colbert, your full name is David Anthony Colbert. Mr. Colbert, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Colbert, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Colbert? You doing all right? Well, that's good. And Mr. Colbert, you're representing your case by your attorney Marvin Provo, Attorney Provo. How are you doing? That's good. And did you waive a record in Mr. Colbert's case? Mr. Colbert, I have before me a document that is titled information. This information alleges that you, David Anthony Colbert, on or about April 22nd of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed to Class A misdemeanor offensive assault. Colbert, do you understand what you've been charged with? And to this charge, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest? Are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? Are you pleading, is somebody forcing you to plead no contest?
No.
You pleading no contest because you want to plead no contest? Okay. Now, Mr. Colbert, I also have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishments. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yeah.
On page 2 of this same document, there are a set of initials on a line next to a box that's checked no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document? On page 3 of this same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is this your signature? And on the next document, that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that statement? Second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement? I also have a document that is titled Discovery Certification on paper. Do you recognize this document? Is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant? At the top of, now, before you signed and initialed all of these documents that I just showed you, did your attorney go over these documents with you? And did you read and understand everything that your attorney went over? And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? Okay. Mr. Colbert, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yeah, for stage 1.
Any objections?
No.
No objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Ms. Provo, you've advised and counseled Mr. Colbert. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial? Mr. Colbert, the attorney, Ms. Provo, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with her representation?
Yes.
Has she provided fully effective and competent legal representation? Mr. Colbert, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
For a plea of no contest, the state has offered 45 days time served on this case. Court calls tax are retired.
Mr. Colbert, the state is offering that you serve 45 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail on this case because you've already served 45 days in Jefferson County Jail. Therefore, you'll be given credit for the time that you have already served. The court costs in this case will be taxed and retired. It simply means that you will not be required to pay the court costs because the time that you have spent in jail has already paid off the court costs. Therefore, the court costs will be taxed and retired. Mr. Colbert, do you understand the state's offer? Do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just? And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Colbert, I will accept the plea bargain agreement. And Mr. Colbert, this will conclude your case. Please stand, do you want to, you can come up? Please stand in front of the court coordinator, follow the directions of the bailiff. Once you finish following the directions of the bailiff, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And you, yes, you may be excused. Okay. Okay, this is, put us back in session with the announcement docket and the motion to revoke probation docket. Last case that we have on the motion for probation docket is cause number M 321 225. Case is styled the state of Texas versus Russell Thomas Bean. Russell Bean was scheduled to be in court this morning at 9 a.m. for the court's motion to revoke probation docket. Russell Bean name was called at the courthouse door by the court's bailiff at or about 9 a.m. Russell Bean did not answer. Russell Bean has not appeared in court since the court has been in session. The time now is 10:48 a.m. on today's date of May 8th of 2024. Ms. Bailiff, would you please call the name of Russell Bean at the courthouse door?
Yeah.
Russell Dean.
Russell Bean's name was just called again at the courthouse door. Russell Bean did not answer. A reasonable time has passed to give Mr. Bean an opportunity to appear in court. He has not appeared in court. State, do you have a motion? That motion will be granted. Russell Bean's bond will be forfeited and warrant shall be issued for his arrest in cause number M 321 225. And this will conclude the calling of the court's announcement docket and the court's motion to revoke probation docket. Both dockets scheduled at 9 a.m. on today's date, May 8th, 2024, in County Court at Law number 2. Judge Terrence Holmes presiding. Everyone, please have a blessed day. Prosecutors and Mr. Gilliam, you are excused.